Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Annisa Majid from English Education Department of Unisula. Here I will present my answer of TLP or Teaching Learning Process Comprehensive Test. Number 1. Mention 21st century learning skills which must be comprehended and mastered by people in this millennial era. And then mention also Pancasila Students Profile, and then how those skills and profiles connect to each other. Explain them one by one. Why are they important? So, in 21st century learning skills, there are 4 skills such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and then communication. But in Pancasila Students Profile, there are have faith, fear in God, and have noble character, and then global diversity, work together, independent, critical reasoning, and then creative thinking. I think 21st century learning skills have similar skills with Pancasila Students Profile. Their functions are same and complementary each other. First is critical thinking and critical reasoning. These skills are important because they help students to be able in processing qualitative or quantitative information objectively, build the relationship between every information, analyze information, and then the last is summarize it. Next is creativity and creative thinking. From these skills, students are able to modify and produce something original and useful, meaningful, and have good impact for everyone. Next is collaboration and work together. Collaboration is the one of the key element from work together, which is the students can do the activity together with their friends to make it simple. Next skill is about communication and global diversity. Communicate one another without think about the difference. Will build caring and have open-minded in interaction with others. And then independence. Independent students will build responsibility of process and learning result, also self-awareness and the situation. The last skill is have faith, fear in God, and have noble character. Students who have faith and fear in God can participate in every religion activities at school or out of school. The second question is, do those 21st century learning skills correlate with Merdeka Belajar, aka freedom of learning curriculum? If it does, then please explain it. So I think the answer is yes, they do. There are 4 concepts of Merdeka Belajar. The first is quality universal education, digital technology for education, solidarity and partnership, and then post-COVID-19 future work of work. With 21st century learning skills that applied in Merdeka Belajar curriculum, students can reach the concepts of Merdeka Belajar such as creativity, critical thinking, and communication can be used in entrepreneurship in planning the business. Do the collaboration on education with technology to make the education more useful, simple, and fun to learn. The third question is what are the difference between Merdeka Belajar curriculum with 2013 curriculum? Do you think the former or the latter which is more beneficial for students? So there are 4 the difference of K13 and Merdeka Belajar curriculum. The first is intended. For the K13 curriculum, using basic competence or kompetensi dasar. But in Merdeka Belajar Kurikulum, it called by learning outcomes or capaian pembelajaran. And then the second difference is curriculum structure. In a K13 curriculum, class hours are arranged per week and use a thematic approach. But in Merdeka Belajar Kurikulum, class hours can be adjusted per subject or with or using thematic approach. And then the third difference is learning process. In K13 curriculum, it uses scientific approach to all subjects and their organization. But in Merdeka Belajar Kurikulum can use a variety of learning approaches according to existing condition. And then the last difference is about assessment. In a K13 curriculum, the assessment is divided into assessment of attitude, knowledge, and skill. But in Merdeka Belajar curriculum, there is no separation between the assessment of attitudes, knowledge, and skill. And then I think Merdeka Belajar Kurikulum should be applied in the future because it's more easy and can adjust it to the students' interests and then talents for the newest era. The fourth question is, in Kurikulum Merdeka Belajar, one suggested education learning model is project-based learning. Can you please explain what is it and how to apply the model or the procedure in a teaching learning classroom? So, project-based learning is a learning method that use projects or activities as a medium. Students assess, explore, and inform to produce various forms of learning outcomes. Project-based learning is a student-centered learning model to conduct an in-depth investigation of a topic. These are the steps of applying project-based learning. First is identify the problem, and then the second, plan the project. The third, make a schedule, and then the fourth, monitor the progress. The fifth, do the assessment, and then the last is do the evaluation. Fifth question is, what competencies must teachers have in correlation to teaching learning process? Explain it. So, competencies that teacher must have in teaching and learning process are pedagogic competence. Pedagogic competence is an ability that teachers must have in managing students' learning, including mastering and understanding their character. And then the second is personality competence. This competence is the teacher's ability to behave positively, which can be an example for students with a noble and authoritative character. And then next is social competence. Is the teacher's ability to communicate effectively to the students, parents, and also same educator and the community in the surrounding environment. The next competence is professional competence. Professional competence is the teacher's ability to master knowledge material and be able to implement it. Next question is, mention the purpose of education based on some expert. Mention at least two. please reflect that education purpose for your future life. What's your plan in reaching it in the future, and how do you see yourself in 5 years ahead dealing with the principle of long life education? So these are the purpose of education based on some expert. The first is from Notonegoro. Notonegoro revealed that the goal of education philosophically is the achievement of perfect happiness. Perfect happiness is a state that gives rise to all you can content satisfaction to the point of not giving rise to any more an eternal. And then the second expert is Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer said that education has 5 goals that are also part of education itself, as there are activities for survival, efforts to make a living, child education, and maintenance of relationship with communities and countries, and then use of leisure time. From the purpose of education based on the experts above, in 5 years to come, I will make education as a pillar of free time, a source of happiness, a source of income, a place to interact with the students, same educators and parents of students, and also as simulation of educating children. So that's all for my answer in TLP or teaching learning process comprehensive test. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.